Hello and welcome back to the Stars of Your World. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after the main character received his disguise, which allowed him to look like his persona, for lack of a better word, which is like a panda. And very grateful for it and everything. He seems to be adapting to it very well. Basically like getting your own fursuit, except that this is more of like a visual disguise instead of, a carpet over you that's gonna cause you to overheat. What else? We also know that now know that these characters all have some sort of like, not a superpower, but like an ability where I don't remember their names, so I'm not even gonna try to pretend. But the cat can apparently see through clothes, sort of like an X-ray vision type thing, and the wolf guy is apparently invulnerable. But so much so in that he can't feel pain, but he can probably still get hurt. He just can't feel that he's hurt, probably. I don't think they've gone into very much details exactly as to the extent of his abilities and everyone else's abilities, but apparently everyone has that. And the whole reason why they look like animals is because of a whole thing where their planet's god died, turned into like a death god, and was trying to assimilate all life on the planet, but the god of the star stopped it. And now they're the ones that are guiding the planet, and the previous dead god is now the secondary moon of the planet. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of like lore and things like that. So yeah. What else? Am I forgetting anything else? There was a lot of stuff discussed in the previous update, but I'm having a really hard time trying to remember it. So like, I'm not even gonna try to pretend to try to remember it. Anyways, so without further ado, let us continue. I hear the waves. Upon opening my eyes, I'm greeted with a sight that was once familiar to me. A river. Yet, I cannot see the other shore. The iridescent water stretches far, far beyond the horizon. By all logical sense, one would likely call this a sea, but I know that this is a river because I call it such. There is no need to consider any other terms. The sky above the blinding river is an infinite stretch of emptiness, lit up by tiny swatches of grains of light. I know that they are not all that small. They are simply far, far away. They are who are they to me? We never really decided a term. Perhaps they would call us a sibling, or maybe just co-workers, neighbors perhaps. There are many of us out there. Trillions. Each one of us has a little body of water to look over. Some are puddles, ponds, lakes, oceans. They take on so many shapes, all with their own light. We never really interact with one another. One day we decided on a shared goal and went our separate ways. I know if I keep moving and moving. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, centuries. In about half a manvantara, I will have probably found my nearest neighbor, but by that point the ripples that I love to watch would have long vanished beneath the blinding surface. And we don't have much in common other than our shared goal. Even our approaches to reaching this said goal are different, so there is no need to discuss things. There has been something watching me in the darkness. A gaze of sorts. I don't know when, but it has settled itself out of my vision. No matter how hard I try, I have never found it, and it has never bothered nor interfered with my project, so I suppose that there is not a need to pay it any mind. I may not leave. I am to stay here and accompany them forever and ever. It is not impossible for us to leave. Many have abandoned their projects and move on to new ones. But how irresponsible would it be for me to leave them alone? I hear them crying out for me. Even if I am unable to touch them, surely a gaze should suffice. But are you lonely? Something I hadn't expected. A voice. Long have I grown accustomed to the silent gaze, but this is truly unprecedented. The voice. He strolled right next to me on that sandy shore and crouched down to meet my eyes. Who? The figure shakes his head. You should ask yourself that first. Then you will find your answer as to who I am. Of course I know who I am. I am... He is right. I cannot remember who I am, but I should know this. How is it that I cannot even remember who I am? It is such a simple question, too. Who is it on the tip of my tongue? So close. I... Take it slowly, nice and gentle. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I'm... Antonio. That is my name. The priceless name that my parents gave me. My entire identity neatly wrapped in a single word. Why did it take me so long to remember? The panda's eyes squint a bit tighter, just enough to be noticeable. Correct. 10 points for Antonio. And me. Do you remember? You are... He waits for my answer with a soft smile. Somehow, I feel like even if I were to get this wrong, he wouldn't fault me or get angry. But I do know the answer. My fursona? I dramatically back away from the panda dressed in pink, prompting a chuckle from him. And my name? He tilts his head. Chicharrón. The panda nods. Do you remember why you gave me that name? I look down at the shore, scribbling random lines into the sand. There is no sensation. Because it was my favorite snack growing up. It was Dad's too. Then he taught Mom how to make it. You always preferred your mom's signature dipping sauce over your dad's guacamole. How do you know all that? How are you... Here? Or were you thinking real? Both. Well, because this is a dream, silly. I'm not real at all, merely a figment of your imagination. Of course I would know everything that you know. But why now of all times? Do dreams really need a reason? No, I suppose not. Well, there is a reason. Perhaps drawing me has brought me here to your lovely little dreamscape. My brow furrows as I give him a disgruntled look. Sensing my dissatisfaction, he goes on. All right. How about... Dreams exist to prepare you for the upcoming day. But they are fragile. Once exposed to the harshness of reality, they vanish like soap bubbles, leaving behind nothing but faint traces of emotions. The days ahead of you will be filled with trials and tribulations, Antonio. It was a strangely philosophical response, one that I wasn't expecting from a reflection of my subconscious. Do I talk like this? Is that some sort of prophecy? No. Merely stating a fact. For the path of life is turbulent, after all. Even if I cannot leave this dream and accompany you in reality, I wish to impart upon you even the faintest strength, so that you could face the future with more certainty. Speaking of, The first light is breaking through the veil of night. May your hair be gently ruffled by the wind, and may your skin be kissed by the first rays of dawn. Oh, and one last quiz before we part ways. Finish my sentence. Per aspera. He tilts his head, awaiting my answer. Ad astra. Correct. 10 points for Antonio. His voice becomes muffled as the world around me fades. Chapter 6. Greetings from the Children of Earth. It's bright outside. What time is it? My hand fumbles around for my phone. Once I feel that familiar plastic case in my hand, I tap the glass screen a few times. No good. Maybe holding the power button will do it. The phone vibrates as it comes to life. Soon I am flashbanged by the brightest home screen in existence. Fuck. Why did I set the brightness up so high? I turn the brightness down before checking the time. 4 a.m. Goody. Still plenty of time to sleep. Wait. That makes no sense. There is no way that it's this bright out at 4 in the morning, and my phone broke when I fell here. Hey. I sit straight up, staring at the glowing cracked screen in my hand. Ah. It's alive. Straightening my new coat, I strolled right over to Darius's room. I have something to show him. It's been on my phone since forever now. Peeps from my high school astronomy club had this tradition where members had to download content of the Voyager Golden Record onto their phones as part of the initiation. Most people just deleted it right after, but I was so lazy to actually do it, so it's been with me through 2 phone replacements now, likely 3 if I had ever gotten the chance. But the prospects aren't looking too bright. What an honor it would be to be the one showing this to an actual alien. My apologies, Voyager 1 and 2, but I shall be the first. I wonder how the people of Earth would feel, knowing that their voices and sounds have been carried to a distant planet in the Milky Way. Well, one thing I do know, a certain floppy-eared someone will appreciate this. I go to knock, but my fist comes to a halt before I reach the door. How awkward would it be if he wasn't there? The bathroom door is open, so he can't be in there. But if he isn't in there then, and he ain't in the bathroom, then the worst case would simply be I knock for nothing. Creak. As the door opens, my vision is filled with a pair of round, furry pecs. Good morning, Antonio. Did you sleep? I take a step back before tilting my head up. Slept well. So, you gave me a gift yesterday, so I figured I should repay you the favor. Now it's my turn to hide something behind me. Oh, what is it? Ta-da! I present my phone as if it's some brand spanking new model instead of the cracked mess that it is. Oh, your phone? Wait for it. With a click of the power button, the screen lights up. Oh! It works? Yep. Imagine my surprise when I saw it. Does this device have some sort of self-repair feature? Wasn't it broken? Nah, I think that the water just dried out, so it came back. I waved the phone around. You told me that it got plenty of features, right? Instant communication, entertainment, notes keeping, endless information, all in your pocket. Yeah, some of those features aren't usable without Wi-Fi or a bar of signal. I am most certain that my provider can't reach another planet. But I still have something to show you. Well, I'm sure that it's very exciting. Very. Especially since you were so excited to learn about Earth. Oh? Let's get Kairos first and see if he wants to join. It's going to take a while to play the entire thing, and I want as many peeps to witness this as possible. Without getting me into trouble, that is. The only people who qualify right now are like, just you two. Alright then, onward. He points towards the stairs, visibly vibrating with excitement. I can show you around while we walk. I give the lad a thumbs up while backing away so that he can get out. So my room, your room, bathroom, you know those. Yep, we got 2 more unexplored doors. So this room right here next to mine is the study. Darius cracks the door open, giving me a peek. The walls are lined to the ceiling with papers and books. A large desk resides in the middle with a few chairs circling it. That's a lot. You probably already read everything in here, huh? Oh, no way. There is still like half of these that I haven't gone through. That is still a lot of books read, my guy. Hee hee. Well, I can flip through everything and remember the contents perfectly. I prefer feeling the pages as I flip through them. And it's much harder to share the books I like if the only copies that I have are in my brain. I nod. Makes sense, makes sense. So, what you got on those shelves? Sciencey stuff? Well, besides the sciencey stuff, as you put it, you may find that a lot of these are works of fiction. Whoa, you read those? Ah, yeah. Hey, samesies, what kind of genre do you read? Well, a bit of everything. I like to diversify, but my favorites tend to be fantastical adventures and philosophical works. And, no, that's it. For a short moment his eyes flicker away. Quite obvious that he was hiding something, but it's a matter of taste, so I won't dig. Judging by the expression, it's probably something he's too embarrassed to say out loud. We have similar tastes, you and I. Gotta give me some recommendations once I get the hang of reading. Most certainly. Oh, maybe they could be practice reading material. Gotta combine theory with practice, as my mom always says. Darius shuts the door behind us as we move on to the next one. And this one at the end of the hall is... the storage room. It's mainly just spare furniture in there, nothing exciting. When the door opens, all I can see are silhouettes covered by tarps and dust. Lots and lots of dust that got kicked up by the door opening, blasting me with a wave of musty, stale air. Damn, no joke. I fan the air in front of me, as if that could somehow miraculously get all the dust out of my nostrils. Let's keep this closed for now. Yeah, for the best. You can go in there anytime you like, but, I don't really see the reason. Well, some spring cleaning is perhaps in order. Maybe a vent to circulate the air a little would be nice. We continue chatting as we make our way downstairs. Oh, a ventilation system. That is a good idea, actually. I never felt the need to install one since... well, nobody ever goes in there. It explains the smell. As I trail after him down the stairs, I get a good view of his big old ungloved hand rubbing his neck. Several black rings adorn each of his fingers. Funnily enough, his ring finger is spared. Left ring finger to be specific. Pretty sure his right fingers all have rings. I wonder what's up with that. Fashion choice, maybe? We should probably get a vacuum up here and clean things up. You guys got those already? Yeah, we do shed a lot of fur, so a convenient way of cleaning things up was, and still is, a priority needed. Suppose that's true. I really only got a lot of hair on my head. And down there, but that's TMI. And it already gets everywhere, so I can't imagine living with all of that fur. It's got its positives and negatives. You would probably want fur in this climate, though. Yeah, it wasn't even winter, and I was already shivering outside yesterday. I will make a mental note to get you thicker clothes. Appreciate it. We finally make our way down. First time that I've been here since, I flash him a grin to make sure that he knows that I'm being serious. It's much more cozy here when it's all bright and sunny like this. Ah, right. Heh. Okay, not the move. Well, here is the front door. You are free to go outside and take a stroll. But please do remember to turn on the veil projector before you leave. I give him a thumbs up. The windows here are one way, right? So no need to use it while it's bright outside? Yeah, should be safe as long as it's bright out. But once it starts getting dark, we should close the blinds or keep the veil projector on. Yes, sir. Here is our living room. Nothing exciting. We do have a gramophone, but compared to the things that I've heard, it's nothing compared to your phone. Yeah, those were popular back in the day too, like my grandparents' era. I lean in and scan around, expecting a gramophone with a trumpet-looking extrusion, but I spotted nothing, just a small box sitting on a table. Is that it? On the table? That would be it. Is something the matter? Oh, nah, I was just expecting a big trumpet-looking kind of thing. Oh, the model with the big horn. Those are rather old now. This is a more recent one. And it would be an inconvenience having to crank it ourselves when we can have electricity do the work for us. He doesn't know how right he is. Someone clears the throat behind me. It was a light and sophisticated-sounding kind of throat clearing, the kind that was meant to alert you to a person's presence, rather than truly clearing one's throat of phlegm. As expected, when I turn around, I see none other than a certain cat person. Good morning. May I ask why you two are peeking around? Yeah, why were we peeking around instead of just walking into the room anyway? Now we look suspicious. If I weren't standing right next to the homeowner, I would look like a thief. Kai begins talking, not bothering to wait for an answer. Would you two like breakfast? I am currently preparing it. Sounds great. Take a seat over there while I get things ready. And that's the breakfast nook. Kairos nods. As he was about to leave, I suddenly remembered something. Oh, hey, Kai. Yes? So my phone started working again. Sounds good. Yep, and there was something on it that I want to show you. It's an audio thing, pretty lengthy, so I figured, since we're having breakfast, would you like to join me and Darius in listening? I see no reason not to. Oh, sweet, thanks. Kairos nods again before walking off. Darius follows. I'm going to help him set the plates and stuff. You can go ahead and take a seat. Okay. I make an okay sign with my hand. He seemed confused by it but mimics the gesture before running off. Damn, I should stop doing hand signals. Alone again. This is the worst time. I press the power button. A nearly blank battery symbol and 2 numbers appear in the corners. 23. It's gonna die soon, along with everything on this phone. No way to get it back, really. There should be enough battery to show everything to Darius and Kairos. Then whoop, all gone. I walk over to the breakfast nook and set my ass down on the sofa. It's soft. As I sink into the cushion, I tap the screen to keep it awake. I really just wanted it to be over, show them the golden record, drain the battery quickly, then I won't have to look at them again. The text messages and missed calls piled up on my phone. I didn't fully ignore them, just didn't read anything or take any calls. Texted them something like, "Doing fine, don't worry." The bare minimum so nobody would send a wellness check my way. I caught glimpses. I read their messages, I heard their calls, but I didn't truly internalize at all. I didn't want it to be pitied. Really, I could have just uninstalled and deleted everything before I went up to the bridge, but I didn't, for some reason. The logical thing to do was just to wipe my phone clean, but I didn't. Maybe even back then, I knew deep down that I was going to chicken out. Maybe I would have just stood there on that bridge, unable to bring the razor down on my scars on my left hand. And then, what would I have done? Would I call Damien and Jack? Or maybe my buddies from work? Maybe him? Or nobody at all? I would have just sat there all night until the sun came up. Then I'd go back home and fall asleep, sleep until I naturally wake up again, eat something. Then I would see that stupid suicide note pinned under that flowery toothpick holder. It was so utterly cringy and sappy. I wouldn't even look at it or anything, just crumble it up before tossing it in the trash. Maybe rip it up first so that no one could ever read it. Then life would probably go on from there, as if nothing had ever happened, as if this entire charade were a mere fading dream. I don't know how or why, but life has to go on. It would take a while before I get in the mood to draw again, hopefully not too long, as commissions would be my only source of income for a while, as I kinda quit. Maybe I could post a nude as I'm back kinda post, those get my followers fired up. And then what? Where will I go from there? What paths do I have? Everyone is busy with their own life. They all have their own place to call home and their own goals to achieve. But me, there is nothing for me to go to. No one for me to go to. No reason for me to keep going. Will I keep on living like that until I die of old age, aimlessly bumbling in the dark? I don't want to die. But I don't know why I'm living either. If I keep living, maybe one day I will find an answer. I hope so. A soft padded footsteps approach, and then with them, the clinking of ceramics and upbeat humming. Without needing to peel my eyelids open, I can tell that it's Darius. Kairos would never make noise when walking around. It's rather spooky. My hands sink a bit into the cushion while I try to prop myself up and straight. So, what are we having for breakfast? Buttered toast, a classic. Kairos is trying to keep your meals as simple as possible, so if you ever get sick, we would know the cause right away. I would have cracked a few eggs for an omelet, but I figured that you should see our animals first before you eat anything from them. Yeah, reasonable. What did you want to show us on your phone, by the way? Right, well... I clear my throat, putting up a voice for dramatic effect. Us Earthlings have gazed up at the stars for a very long time now, much longer than we have been humans. We always wondered if there were other life forms in this vast universe, so we made a metaphorical bottled message called the Golden Record and sent it far, far away in the hope that one day someone else will see it. And I just so happen to have the contents of that record here, all within this little device of mine. Whoa! What's on the record? The sounds of Earth, our greetings in many languages, our music, the location of our planet, and a bunch more stuff. Man, I still can't believe how much information that you can put on such a small handheld device. Actually, since this is a monumentous occasion, would you like to experience our special instant photographic technology? Oh, of course, I would love to. Do spare me. I will stand to the side. As you wish. Do I need to do something? I open the camera app, making sure that I have the flash turned off so that I won't accidentally spook them. Nah, maybe, strike a pose if you want. Pose? How should I pose? Maybe a peace sign will do? Like this? I hold up 2 fingers and Darius mimics my motion. Like so? Yep. Smile and hold still. On the count of 3, 2, 1. I tap the shutter button twice before checking the results. Did it work? Can I see? A goofy wolf doll guy doing a peace sign appears on the screen. Sure did. Take a look. I pass the phone to Darius, who holds it as if it would crumble if he applied too much force. To be fair, he could probably break it if he really wanted to, but judging by the glowing expression of sheer astonishment on his face, I don't think that he will. It's me, Kairos, look! He presents the phone like a child showing his parent a beloved treasure. Kairos leans in to inspect the picture. It is indeed you. It is so vibrant and lifelike. I only have ever seen these kind of colors in print or painted works, and it barely took any time at all. Even with our most advanced cameras, I would still have to sit still for several minutes. Well, there are limitations and such. This isn't a Polaroid camera. Ain't no printers around either, so I can't really give you a physical photo or anything. Well, I am sure as long as you have your phone, it's going to be there still, right? I can feel the corners of my mouth curl down. My phone doesn't have all that much battery. It's going to die soon after I show the contents of the golden record. Oh, I see. How unfortunate. He looks down at the phone in his hands. Just as quickly his eyes flick right up to meet mine. But it is rechargeable? Yeah, I just don't have the charger with me right now, so it's as good as dead. Maybe I can make a new one. Wait, maybe you can. You guys have electricity here and everything. Yeah, and I'm great with these kinds of things. I just need to know how much energy this needs. He holds the phone very close to my face, almost pressing it against it. Like a tiny amount. 5 volts, though I don't know how much a volt is. Well, I think our power supply uses something like 120 volts at a frequency of 60 hertz, which is the equivalent to 60 cycles per second, while 1 hertz is 1 cycle per second. Duly noted. Volt didn't translate, but at least we have the frequency. A slow charging warning should pop up if the voltage isn't enough. That does make it easier, then. It will only be a matter of trial and error until I get the input right. But of course, there is always a chance of something going wrong, though. You should spend what little is left of the battery before giving it to me. Darius passes the phone back, still with both hands. To be entirely honest, I kinda do want something to go wrong. It would be easier if it did, but maybe I should learn to leave myself a way out. Even if I don't want to see those messages again, I can simply just not look at them. Put those apps in a folder and call it a day instead of risking regretting it one day. Thanks, Darius. It is my pleasure. Let's get on with the show, shall we? Though I did do a presentation on the contents of the record, it's been an entire decade. Am I glad that I still have the relevant wiki articles, otherwise I wouldn't know how to explain everything in there. Wait, since Darius has that perfect memory thing. Actually, Darius, can I ask for a favor? Ask away! You perfectly remember everything you experienced, right? Indeed. Actually no, it's weird, never mind. Like, he's going to remember it anyway. It's kinda in his character to do so, but asking someone to become a living backup is a tad, objectifying. Do you, want me to archive the contents of the record? Yeah. Like you said, there is always a chance something may happen to the phone, and this is the last bits of Earth that I have on me. So I figured... I rubbed my neck. Why am I being so awkward about this? Like he would be... I would be honored! Yeah, like that I suppose. I wouldn't have missed a second anyway, but I think that it's nice to be asked. Thanks. And not to leave you out, Kai, but Darius, you know. I give the grinning dog guy a few quick glances. Kai just nods. There is zero change in his expression, not even a furrowing or raising of an eyebrow. Just perfect, pure stoicism. Well, lingering won't help. Then I realized that there was another problem. Wait. Gotta figure out this seating situation first. To optimize space, we should probably sit towards the edge of the sofa, otherwise it's going to be difficult for all three of us to see, and I can't imagine Kai huddling with us on the sofa. Darius, do you mind, sitting there? Here? He pats the cushion. Yeah, and Kai, do you want to sit on the sofa, or... A chair will do. He moves one of the chairs closer to where Darius is sitting before taking a seat. I'm the last one not in position, so I take that as a cue to scoot next to Darius. I plop the phone down on the table. Well, feel free to eat while you tune in. This is going to take a while. Wouldn't be very toasty once it's cold, eh? No reaction. Not my proudest work. The pun probably didn't even translate. Darius smiles at me for a few more seconds before picking up a piece of toast and swallowing the entire thing whole. Kai briefly glances at Darius's magic act of instant toast disappearance, but is otherwise unmoving. Let's just start. The video begins with an image showing the record and its case. Here is what the record looks like, should you guys ever come across it. Very literal name. These engravings are they instructions? That is probably the disc. And the stylus, I presume. And the side view underneath. Correct. How did you figure that out so quickly? Context clues. I can't exactly tell what the rest is yet. Well, we built it with the intention of being understood by any space-sparing civilization. We aren't developed enough yet, then. Darius visibly deflates. Would you like me to explain what's going on here, or... No. It would probably be fun to figure things out on my own for a bit. Maybe some hints would be nice? Well, a hint for you then. One of these is a map to my solar system. Oh! It's that one in the lower right corner. Correct again. Wait. This is important. If I can figure out how to decode this map, we can locate Earth. Well, no, it's not that simple, really. No? His disappointment is quite visible. Okay, do you know what a pulsar is? The term did not translate, unfortunately. Yeah, first problem. There are a relatively new discovery. You need to know what they are to use the instructions. Aw, what are they then? They are these collapsed stars that spin really quickly and emit radio waves, which brings us to our second problem. There are a lot of them, like 1 billion in our galaxy. Not only do they change distance from Earth, but their signal can also change, so attempting to locate Earth with this map alone would be pretty fruitless. I see. He sighs dejectedly, deflating even further. I pat his shoulder before pressing play. The video continues, transitioning to its second image. A circle. It's the calibration image. If you decode the record properly, you can translate the audio into images. Wait, is that what that square with the circle is? Uh-huh. Then the one above must be how you convert audio signals then. You're getting there. How do you do that? Darius's voice trails off towards the end. He then rubs his chin, tilting his head. I cannot but smile at the dog-like gesture. I probably shouldn't say anything out loud, though. A male voice would soon accompany the image. As the Secretary General of the United Nations. This is much crisper than our phonographs. Is this your language? Sure is. English. One of hundreds. Thousands, actually. Sounds not too different from us. What is he saying? I begin talking in sync with the recording. We step out of our solar system into the universe, seeking only peace and friendship, to teach if we are called upon, to be taught if we are fortunate. We know full well that our planet and all of its inhabitants are but a small part of the immense universe that surrounds us, and it is with my humility and hope that we take this step. This is a greeting to you from us Earthlings, and the next few minutes are dedicated to just that. People from all around the globe greeting you in their mother tongue. We sit there in silence, listening as the voices of 55 people from many countries and backgrounds greets us. They recorded themselves, hoping that one day they would be heard by another species from beyond the stars, and today their wish has finally come true. Of the languages spoken, I could only understand 3, but hope transcends any language barrier. Darius points to the screen as the next image pops up. Oh, these dots represent numbers, don't they? Is that your number system? Mm-hmm. Then 86,400 equals 1 second and day? You can read the numbers already? Well, I have all the necessary parts already, no? Maybe I should be less surprised at the things that you can do. I can't figure out the rest yet though. Everything seems to hinge on those 2 diagrams above. Those seem to be a recurring thing, so they must be important. Oh, yeah. Can you guys observe molecules yet? No, not yet. We are working on something, the last time that I heard. Then this isn't going to make much sense to you yet. Aww. It's that dejected puppy face again. Would you like a hint? Yes, please. Wavelength and hydrogen electron. Wavelength and hydrogen electron. It didn't come back untranslated, so he understood those terms at least. To be fair, I wouldn't know how to explain the whole electron spin flip thing to this science genius without looking like an idiot. It would be like teaching a fish how to swim. Darius silently took in the sounds and images for a few more minutes before perking up again when the image of Mercury popped into view. A celestial body? Yep, the first of our solar system. Do we get to see Earth? His eyes sparkled. Wait a bit. That's Jupiter, the 5th, and there is the 3rd, Earth. Earth's appearance on the screen is accompanied by the sound of a forming storm. Oh, it doesn't look too different from Vistella. A sudden clap of the thunder breaks the cozy morning atmosphere, causing poor Darius to jump. Even Kairos looks alert. Oh, whoops, should have warned you. That, it took me by surprise. Rain would soon follow. Reminds me of the first time that I opened my eyes here. It was a stormy night too. I couldn't quite forget the look that Darius had on his face that night. Fear and worry. My eyes flicked up to Darius, who was staring at the screen intently, probably trying to engrave the image of Earth into his brain for good. I smile. The next several minutes of the record are dedicated to the sounds of Earth, both nature and mechanical. Kairos seemed much more attentive when he heard the sound of a baby crying, and Darius was fully leaning in when the sounds of machines began to play. And the Morse code. Per aspera ad astra. I mumbled. Is that what the code means? Oh, yeah. Morse code. You guys probably have that. We do. And eventually the first song on the record came on. So this is the music of Earth. He happily bops along to the classical song playing. I glance at his tail. It's swaying from side to side. Kai seemed to be enjoying the song too, nodding along. Your uncle would enjoy this. Uncle did collect a lot of classical music records. He then turns to me with his signature look of excitement. Maybe we can listen later. Would love to see, hear what other planets got to offer in terms of music. Besides, I have been feeling a bit understimulated from the lack of music playing in my ears whenever I'm awake. We have plenty of variety, even with just music discs in the house alone. I can reckon that we have something around 100 genres. There are probably thousands out there. I whistle. Quite a few. Do you have a preference? Not really. I just listen to whatever is mood appropriate. I am fond of jazz. He does look like the jazz type. How about you? Huh? Oh, I like this thing called, lo-fi? It's a pretty recent thing. Lo-fi? His untranslated voice comes through, making it abundantly clear that it isn't something that he is familiar with. It means low fidelity. Music that's made to sound intentionally imperfect. Background noises here and there. Some misplayed tones. Those kind of things. Intentionally perusing imperfections. I suppose that I can see the artistic merit. Isn't that similar to jazz? I suppose so. We spoke in unison. Ah, Jinx, you owe me a soda. Why would I owe you a carbonated drink? They have soda? And I really didn't mean to say that out loud. It's just an instinctual response after having to buy Damien a drink for the third time. It's this game that we have, where if you say the same thing at the same time as someone, you have to buy them a soda. Like, it isn't necessary, just for funsies. I see. Oh, and by the way, the next hour and a half is basically just music, so, feel free to stretch your legs and come back. If you don't mind. Kai then stands up before leaving his spot. How about you? You need a bathroom break or something? No, not really. I want to see everything Earth has to offer. He said before making another piece of toast vanish. I take the opportunity to munch on one too. Kai returned after some time with a tray of drinks in hand. A very distinct aroma of coffee hits my nose. That looks like buildings from the ruins. Ruins? It looks like a skyscraper from the pre-Scorch ruins. Because it is one. Do you guys have those nowadays? There are some now, I have heard, but none of the size. Oh, thank you. Darius received a white mug from Kai. It has 2 beady eyes and a yellow bill. Ducky mug. Somehow this doesn't surprise me. Kai then passes the other mug to me. Just water for now, if you don't mind. I shrug. Thanks. Hydrate or dihydrate, though maybe getting some caffeine in my system would actually be nice. Really up my productivity, though I suppose there is nothing to be productive about. As Beethoven's string quartet comes to an end, so wraps up humanity's message in a bottle. Towards the latter half, Darius was quiet, deeply entrenched in the images and sounds of Earth. He still had a smile on his face, but his chattiness was replaced by sheer intense focus. Kairos was there for a good part of it, but was clearly nowhere as invested as Darius was. He occasionally walks off without making a sound before rejoining us at the breakfast nook after some time. As if on cue, a low battery notification popped up as the screen dimmed. 5% left. I let out a sigh. Was that a low energy warning of sorts? Yeah, no worries. I should have about half an hour left. So, how was it? Our message to you. It was amazing! Breathtaking! Quite a fascinating experience. I still can't believe it. Right now there is a planet somewhere out there with people living, walking, and talking just like us. Without the gods or magic, you have all achieved so many feats of wonder. Oh, the things that I would do for a chance to. Darius suddenly shuts himself up. I know what he's going to say, and why he did that. To not be insensitive about my situation and such, but I can't help but feel like just a twinge of annoyance. Somehow, if he just talked brazenly about it, I don't think that I would have minded. You can finish your sentence, I don't mind. Well, I just think that maybe it would be nice to see where you came from with my own eyes, is all. Yeah, visiting an alien world would be nice. I try my hardest to curb the annoyance in my voice. Darius is being considerate. He doesn't deserve to be snarked at. Earth isn't as idealistic as a place as I made it out to be, though. It's got its problems. So does Vistella, Tony. Kai unexpectedly chimed in. Yeah, No place in the universe is truly perfect. As long as we exist as individuals, they are bound to be imperfections. What is perfect to one person may not be to another. I made things awkward again. Really should have just ignored it and moved on. Right. Well, how about finishing that house tour? I think that we still have some rooms left. Yeah, of course. Do follow me, please. Oh, Kairos, can you take care of the dishes for me today? I will make it up to you later. Kairos nods. When Darius stood up, the cushion beneath us shifted, wobbling me like a jelly on a plate. I get up, fiddling with my phone as I trail after him. I flipped through my phone album for a bit before settling on my default song as of recently. It's bought itself some significance now that it's the last song that I was listening to back on Earth. Darius's floppy ears flick up when the song begins. Is that the low-fidelity genre that you were talking about? Yeah, I like the nostalgic charm that it has. Darius doesn't make any further comment, simply bopping along to the rhythm. This right here is the kitchen. It certainly is a kitchen, a very grandma kind of kitchen. It's nicely lit up by all the natural light pouring in from the windows. The faint aroma of butter and coffee still lingers. Darius begins walking around, listing off the items in the kitchen like some sort of salesperson. Sink, oven, stoves that we got both electric and gas should an outage happen. I prefer the electric one myself, and same goes for the kettles. Something catches my eye. In the middle of all the earthy brown-toned wood stands a stark white wardrobe with some kind of cylinder on top. Why would that be there? Darius seems to notice me staring and waddles over to it. This here is a refrigerator. It is a cutting-edge model. We got it just this summer. To demonstrate, he cracks the door open, unleashing a wave of cold air. I actually didn't expect to see a fridge here. How are the refrigerators back on Earth? Looks a lot less wardrobe-like, first of all. And there isn't that, cylinder thing on top. What's that about? Oh, this? He pats the cylinder thing. It's the compressor. Oh, it's the thingy that compresses gas and heats it up? I actually don't know much about how fridges work. Something hot gases cool down when exposed to room temperature. Same thing with AC. 1 year of electrical engineering, and for what? Kairos walks in, carrying a tray of plates and cups in one hand. We take this as our cue to move on to the next area, exiting through another door in the kitchen. We find ourselves in a stretch of hallway with various doors to the sides. Pretty similar to the hallway upstairs. Darius stops in front of two doors facing each other. This here leads back to the front entrance, and here is... He cracks the other door open. My workshop. It's, a tad cluttered. I didn't really expect people in here. Ever. He does his signature awkward smile. A tad is an understatement. The floor is cluttered with all sorts of things. Boxes, unfinished mechanical parts, papers. It's practically a maze. All sorts of tools hang from the racks on the walls. Saws, screwdrivers, wrenches, and other things that I don't recognize. And is that a workout bench? And dumbbells? And weight plates? I didn't think that he would have workout equipment just lying around. Darius? Yes? You work out? Yeah. How do you think that I got these? The idea that he got ripped by working out like everyone else didn't even cross my mind for some mysterious reason. He then flexes his right arm. I'm still impressed by how big his biceps are, like bigger than my head. I got, inspired by something when I was younger. I think his ears are a bit more pink than usual. Something else catches my attention, something with a tarp thrown over it. And what's that? Ah, the window. Without further clarification, he steps into his maze of a workshop, somehow perfectly avoiding everything on the floor. I try to follow him, but after 3 or 4 steps, I realize that perhaps staying outside would be wiser. In a somewhat clumsy series of motions having to free some parts of the tarp that got caught on the machine, Darius manages to pull the tarp off. It's basically a tall mass of charred metal, exactly as how he told me. If I had to imagine what it was like before, maybe it would have looked something like a camera tripod, about that size but bigger and with thicker supports. Ahem. Darius clears his throat. As you can see, it's, not in the best condition right now. Yeah, clear as day even from here. Darius then throws the tarp back on before effortlessly traversing the maze back outside. The window used a lot of rare and precious materials, so I plan on visiting my friend to arrange material purchases. She lives in the city at the base of the mountain range. Sometimes people go down to the mountain for supplies, so I intend on hitching a ride with them. We should stay for a few days before coming up again though, so you can have a chance to walk around and explore. There is even a Solarius temple. Maybe we can even have an audience with Sealy? Oh, maybe we can ask about what is up with me being here. Like, it's one of those nuclear fusion reactors, right? Mm-hmm. Even if we can't get an audience, visiting a reactor would still be fun, right? Uh-huh. Can't say that I have ever visited any kind of nuclear reactor, let alone a fusion one. Because those don't exist yet. Our footsteps echo down the hallway as the house tour reaches its completion. This is Kairos' room. I won't open it out of respect for his privacy. Kairos isn't in his room a lot of times, so ringing the bell upstairs or simply calling him would be a better way to reach him. That room in the back is another bathroom. And this? He opened the door on the left. Leads back to the living room. Take a seat. This is your house too, so I shouldn't be treating you like a guest all the time. While I plop myself down on one of the chairs, Darius makes his way over to the electric gramophone. Would you like me to put on some music? Your phone was low on battery, right? Shouldn't you save it? I look at my phone, turning off the music before leaning back into the chair. Music would be nice. And it's fine. There is, nothing much in here anyway. Darius inspects the selection of discs that he had lying on the shelf, deliberating. There is a thing or two that I want to jot down before it dies, though. Like? He picks out a disc and inserts it. The instructions to decoding the cover and what it means. I don't have a brain like yours, so it would probably be good to have that on paper. It's always good to have the instructions for a puzzle. While I don't use them, the instructions still reflect the maker's intended approach at solving a puzzle. I like having something to compare what they had in mind with what I will eventually come up with. You seem quite certain that you will solve it. I rest my cheek on my palm. I'm just being optimistic. If you approach engineering with the mindset of I can't do it before giving everything a try, you are done for. My parents taught me such. Decoding the record is what I would consider a close-ended problem, with an intended approach and an intended answer. What do you consider open-ended then? Something without a clear objective or answer. Ethical dilemmas or socializing. His volume drops off towards the end of that sentence. Yeah, people can be difficult. Everyone is a little different, and even one person can change drastically from one moment to the moment. So you just gotta plunge yourself in and hope for the best. Though, I don't think that you have done a bad job socializing with me. You don't? Nope. Talking to you has been fun. I enjoy the company. It's the most that I've talked to with anyone for months, and the most fun that I've had too. There has been a few hiccups here and there, but it's not like he has bad intentions, so I don't mind. I've been having fun too. By the by. Anything on the agenda for later today? We still have a lot of time left. Really not getting used to having 30 hours in a day, and to be honest, without a phone to doom scroll on or a PC to draw on, I'm growing a bit stir-crazy and a notebook just isn't cutting it. Well, we plan to go into town and grab some more clothes for you from Miss Liu. Oh, and remember the magic tool shop that I mentioned? Yeah, are we going? Mm-hmm. Nice. It's run by these two acquaintances of mine, Rita and Sasha. I'm going to ask them if they plan to go down to the city. It is unlikely though, since it's almost time for the Harvest Festival. Sasha is usually busy around this time. I doubt that she is going anywhere. There are also some things that I want to pick up. You mentioned a Harvest Festival? Yep. It's this big festival that happens at the end of autumn. People throw one big celebration before the coming winter. Once the snow rolls in, it's pretty difficult to get out of town. It's not impossible, mind you, but I still want to hurry and go into the city before that happens. Ah, I see. Oh, and didn't you say that you wanted to see the animals too? Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? There should be enough time to drop by the ranch and head back before the sun gets too harsh. And for the rest of the day, post-lunch? It doesn't seem like he has anything planned. Sorry, I am not quite sure what other safe fun and low-contact activities that we've got around. Maybe Kairos and I can begin teaching you our language? That will do. When are we leaving? How about half an hour? It's only 8:30 right now. Hiking downhill will only take about 12 minutes or so. Then we shall have 4 or 5 hours to walk around before the sunlight gets harsh. Hiking back up should take about half an hour. I hope that isn't too intense a hike. How sloped is the road? It is relatively gentle, 5 to 7 degrees give or take, and the terrain is generally flat and even. Doesn't sound too bad. You may not know, but I was something of a hiker before I got here. Really? Yep. I may not have much muscle up here. I pinch my bicep. But my legs have never failed me. That is quite a relief to hear. Since you enjoy hiking, maybe we can go on walks around town sometime. Even during winter, the town is still quite lively. Sounds fun, but I may need much thicker clothes to accommodate the lack of fur. Right. I tap twice on my phone screen, checking the battery. 4%. I should probably go get ready. Suddenly, I realize that I haven't brushed my teeth before strolling over to Darius's. Boy, I do hope my morning breath wasn't noticeable. I'm gonna hand this to you once it dies. That'll be the plan, yeah? No rush or anything. Yeah, thanks. See ya in a bit, big guy. See you. Darius waves, remaining seated on the sofa. His giant fluffy tail wags a bit in his lap before I left. To be continued. So that was a short update. Well, relative. So, I kinda get the feeling that the reason why he's getting along so well with, Darius and the other guy is because they don't really know what happened to him. Aside from the fact that he just ended up here, they don't know the fact that he was trying to commit suicide and that his parents are dead. And considering the fact that he doesn't really care about, well, not really that he doesn't care about, but he's literally trying to ignore and sort of dismiss without really dismissing the messages from either friends or family. And having these two people to talk to, and literally everyone else on this planet to talk to that don't know about his history, is maybe a little bit more refreshing for him, but in a way that it's like sort of like, I can ignore the problem by talking with these people that don't know a thing about me and what's going on with me. So, like, it's kind of okay, but also kind of bad in a way. if this becomes an issue, meaning that he's just gonna keep sort of going like, yeah, I almost committed suicide, but I'm here now. Haha. And like, I mean, at least he had, from the looks of it, 2 friends. And I'm assuming it was sort of like these people knew him and they talked with him and whatnot, and they were probably trying to check in on him and stuff. And of course, there was probably some family members that were like, oh, well, we might as well check on the little guy that's, over there in the United States, who's, who his parents just died, who our relatives just died. And they probably can't get a hold of him now and whatnot. So he had people who cared about him, even if it was just friends. And because of what he was going through, he was kind of, ignoring them. And I guess if you went looking through the messages, it would be sort of like having to face with what happened. Because it kind of feels like the whole attempt at suicide was sort of like as a way to go like, I don't want to keep living with my parents, and I don't really know what to do with the rest of my life, and I have no parents to help me figure that out, so I just kind of want to like exit stage left. And the universe was like, nah, we're gonna give you some time to think about that a little. Like, okay, so we're gonna throw you to this planet, but yeah, he will eventually have to contend with what he was about to do and his parents' death and whatnot. Because depression and that type of stuff don't just go away because you ended up in another planet. And it's very clear that he's still going through it and he's just trying to ignore it. Now that he has people that don't know a thing about him, and in his own little head, he can kind of try to pretend like, oh, new start, new everything, ha ha ha. It's like, nah, the depression's gonna come back eventually. All those little hidden emotions that you're kind of ignoring are gonna come back, and they're gonna bite you in the butt, no matter how hard you try to ignore them. Anyways, so what are your thoughts so far? Are you excited to see more as the story progresses? I do recall, and I'm not sure if this is the story the devlog that I read, or if it was another one that I'm confusing it with. They had said that, okay, yeah, we have this update, like, oh, yay, update, but the next update is going to take a little while, and it's also going to be a little bit longer, and it's also going to, like, introduce more characters. Oh, like, also his persona, Chicharrón, talking to him. I'm also... They refer to Chicharrón as a snack, which, like, yeah, Chicharrón is, it's basically pork crackling. It's like the skin of the pig that's, fried and, But, I also know Chicharrón as, like, Chicharrón con... like in salsa, and like kind of make it into a burrito, a taco de guisado. So there's also like chicharrón con nopales or stuff like that. It's, So I'm wondering if they literally just meant like the pork cracklings as a snack, or if they meant like literally the chicharrón that I'm more used to, because his dad is Mexican, his mom was Vietnamese, I remember. Yeah, I think it was Vietnamese. So yeah. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play the Stars of Your World, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. If you'd like to support the project, they do have a Patreon, which, you can see right here. I'm trying to highlight it. It's the little one right there that looks like a weird bean for some reason. I don't know why Patreon changed their logo to a bean. They do have a blue sky, and they do have what I'm assuming is supposed to be the Twitter logo, but it's the duck, and a Discord. So, you have various places to keep up to date with them. And if you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member, which gives you earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled. This one was recorded on Cinco de Mayo, and the public's probably not going to see it until June. So, you subscribe, you get to watch these videos sooner. And yeah. And if you can't do that, any other form of support is appreciated. Just give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, get me to 10,000. You could also support through Ko-fi too, there's that. And there's also Throne. Also, this is already way too late, but for the people that are, the channel members, there is a fake Lego set. I say fake because it's not Lego, it's another type of brick, of the Normandy SR2 from Mass Effect. If somehow it gets bought before my birthday, which is at the end of May, I will stream myself building it. Okay? So if you stuck around for the video this long and people have money, buy it and I will build it. So yeah. Anyways, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.